You remember those cheesy career day posters? Doctor in a lab coat, astronaut floating in space, firefighter with the shiny helmet. Follow your dreams! Yeah, okay. Plot twist, the riskiest paychecks in America are mostly not the glamorous ones. So here's the twist that'll smack you in the face like a flying 2x4. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2023, a worker died every 99 minutes on the job. Every 99. And the biggest killer? Transportation incidents. Not volcanoes, not sharks, not space lasers. It's vehicles, it's roads, it's routine. Folks, that's straight up terrifying. All right, y'all, let's tell this like a story, start to finish. We're going to walk through a typical year in US work like a day, because that's how it happens. Minute by minute, job by job, until the numbers add up to something you can't unsee. Morning. Alarm goes off. A brand new year of work begins. Somewhere in the country, a long-haul trucker grabs a thermos, fires up a rig, and points it down a highway. This is normal. It's also the most dangerous part of the entire economy.
In 2023, transportation incidents accounted for 36.8% of all work-related deaths, 1,942 people, and heavy and tractor-trailer truck drivers alone, 823 fatalities. That's not a niche risk. That's your supply chain running on final destination energy. But wait, before you clutch your pearls and swear off highways forever, let's roll the tape back to the who of dangerous work. The broad occupation with the highest death rate? Farming, fishing, and forestry. 24.4 fatalities per 100,000 full-time workers. You heard me. That quiet life in the country thing, nobody told the trees and the waves. Logging and tree work are absolute menace zones. You've got falling timber, chainsaws, uneven ground, heavy equipment, and zero room for mistakes. In 2023, within administrative and support and waste management and remediation services, trees, logs, and limbs were the primary source of 79 deaths, and landscaping and groundskeeping accounted for 102 fatalities. Think leaf blower vibes? Try Dodge Gravity vibes.
All right, morning commute hour. Roofers are clocking in. Construction is the fatality heavyweight for industry. In 2023, construction had 1,075 deaths, the highest of any industry sector. The main culprit? Falls. We're talking ladders, scaffolds, stairs. Most fatal falls were from 6 to 30 feet. Not skyscraper movie falls, just you can absolutely die from a second-story whoopsie falls. And yes, portable ladders and stairs were the primary source in 109 of those construction deaths. That's not cinematic. That's a Tuesday. Mid-morning. Delivery drivers and rideshare folks hit their stride. Look, y'all, I know you love getting same-day shipping like it's a human right at this point, but the human cost sits on a steering wheel. Motor vehicle operators had 1,090 fatalities in 2023, and within transportation and warehousing as an industry, 930 total deaths, most from vehicle incidents on highways, freeways, and local roads. So the next time a box shows up 6 hours after you click place order, maybe whisper a tiny apology to the American road system. Lunchtime. Let's talk myths. People assume cops and firefighters top the danger charts. And yes, protective service jobs can be dangerous. 276 fatalities in 2023, with homicides being a big chunk. But on the scale of how likely are you to die at work, your odds are way higher if you climb for a living, drive for a living, or work around trees, heavy equipment, or the ocean. The sea? The sea does not care about your feelings. Fishing and hunting workers historically rank at or near the top in fatality rates. Storms, rogue waves, lines snapping back like whips. Deadliest Catch wasn't just a title, it was a spoiler.
Early afternoon, aviation. You're thinking airline pilots, turbulence, snakes on a plane. But the risky slice is actually small aircraft, air taxi, crop dusting, private and regional operations. When planes crash, they don't do fender benders. Even with fewer deaths than some other categories, the rate can be brutal because the workforce is smaller. It's a high consequence, low margin for error job. One tiny mistake, boom, your day is over. Now, your 2 p.m. slump. Somewhere an iron and steel worker is walking a beam like it's a sidewalk, except the sidewalk is 20 stories up and the wind just changed its mind. Structural iron and steelwork has perennially high fatality rates because gravity always wins. Falls, struck by incidents, getting crushed, these aren't rare weird accidents, they're the hazards you wake up to on the job. 3 p.m., trash pickup. Be honest, when the garbage truck blocks your lane, you get salty. But refuse and recyclable material collectors deal with a gnarly combo: exposure to traffic and heavy machinery. Getting struck, crushed, backed over, it happens, and it happens fast. The truck is always bigger than you.
And around the same time, electrical power line workers are climbing poles, tapping into systems that can turn your skeleton into a glow stick if you misjudge by a millimeter. Working live or near live lines, heights, storms, rushed restoration work, this is big risk energy. We don't talk about them much, but the grid doesn't fix itself. Okay, pause. Let's talk numbers like grown-ups for a second. 2023 had 5,283 fatal work injuries. That's down slightly from 2022, which is good-ish news. The overall fatality rate was 3.5 per 100,000 full-time workers, but that average hides the outliers. Farming, fishing, forestry, 24.4. Transportation, material moving, 13.6. Construction, extraction, 12.9. When you step into those worlds, you're playing a different game. It's not be careful territory. It's you need systems, training, gear, and still some luck. So how do these deaths actually happen? We've got 4 usual suspects. Transportation incidents, 36.8% of all fatalities. Vehicles smash, roll, collide with each other or with not a vehicle. Read barriers, trees, reality. Falls, slips, and trips. Construction owns a massive chunk here. Heights kill, ladders lie. Contact with objects and equipment. Trees and logs, forklifts, cranes, machinery. If it's big and it moves, it's trying to make you flat. Violence. 740 deaths in 2023 from violent acts. 458 were homicides. Retail and protective services take heavy hits here. Folks, customers are not okay.
So what's the inciting incident in our story? It's the moment you choose a job thinking hard work equals honest risk, and you discover the risk part wasn't metaphoric. You're a roofer. You're careful. You've done this 1,000 times. But the ladder tip is worn, the wind gusts at the wrong second, the anchor wasn't set right because the anchor point was trash, and kapow, statistics just found you. Or you're a tree trimmer. You notch a limb, your spotter's distracted, the hinge tears, and the trunk pivots like it has a grudge. Boom, no second take. Escalation? It's everything we've built. Speed, schedules, the expectation that the Amazon box shows up by dinner even if it's snowing sideways. It's homeowners helping the roofer by holding a ladder and flip-flops. Bosses shaving 5 minutes off a safety briefing because we're behind. Understaffed crews in storm season. It's the quiet way risk compounds, one shortcut at a time. And the weirdest, most WTF details? Honestly, how low the height of a fatal fall can be. 6 to 30 feet is the danger zone where most construction fall deaths happen. That's not skyscraper drama, folks. That's a ladder, a porch roof, a warehouse mezzanine. Also bizarre, how many deaths live in our blind spots? Tree work feels mundane until a limb weighs as much as a compact car. Grounds maintenance? You're thinking leaf blowers. The stats are thinking chainsaws and ride-on mowers doing their best impression of a bull.
Climax time, the big reveal of jobs you probably didn't realize are statistically nasty. Logging and tree work, high fatality rates from falls, being struck, and equipment. If it's tall and wooden, it's plotting. Fishing and hunting workers, the ocean is undefeated. Weather, drowning, heavy gear, entanglement, it's all hostile. Roofing, a fall magnet. Ladders, edges, skylights, weak decking, gravity's favorite snack. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers, especially small aircraft. Low incident frequency, high consequence. No such thing as a minor crash. Refuse and recyclable material collectors. Traffic exposure plus heavy mechanisms equals danger. Structural iron and steel workers. Heights, heavy materials, shifting loads. A misstep is a free fall. Driver sales workers and truck drivers. Fatigue, speed, other drivers, road junk. You're living in the danger zone 10 hours a day. Farmers and ranchers. Tractors roll. Augers grab, livestock kick, rural help is far away when minutes matter, electrical power line installers and repairs, heights plus high voltage. Enough said. Grounds maintenance and tree trimmers. Don't let the job title fool you. The trees try to win. Resolution. Where are we now? The 2023 fatality count dropped a bit compared to 2022, and that's good. But the pattern hasn't changed. Transportation is still the big killer. Construction is still the deadliest industry by count, and the high-rate jobs are still the same hard physical gigs that keep everything else running. You want civilization? It's built on ladders, trucks, chainsaws, and people who show up even when it's raining. So what do you do with that? If you're choosing a career, don't just Google salary. Look up the fatality rate. Ask what the PPE is. Ask how many people are on a crew, who ties off, what the lockout-tagout procedures are, how many hours you're expected to drive, what the fall protection training looks like, and if we've always done it this way is the company motto. Red flag. Big red flag. If your boss calls safety common sense, that's code for we don't have a plan.
And if you're already in one of these jobs, y'all are the backbone. But don't romanticize it. Fight for every boring safety meeting. Wear the harness even if it makes you feel like a Christmas ham.
Use the spotter, reject the sketchy ladder, call out the loose anchor, refuse the 14th hour behind the wheel, lock out the machine even if someone rolls their eyes. The difference between an injury and a funeral is usually 5 seconds of do it right. Let's not ignore the human side here either. These fatalities aren't just numbers. They're parents, coworkers, neighbors, and some groups carry more risk because of where they work. In 2023, construction was the biggest source of fatalities for Hispanic or Latino workers. Transportation incidents hit Black or African American workers hardest. That's not random. It's how we distribute labor, training, and protection. If you're a manager and you're not tracking that, you're asleep at the wheel. Now, quick myth-busting lightning round. Police must be the most dangerous job. No, not by fatality rate. It's risky, but they're not topping the charts. Office jobs are safe. Mostly, yeah, but not invincible. People die at desks too. Violence, medical events precipitated by an injury, freak incidents. The world is the world. Experience keeps you safe? Sometimes, but experience also breeds shortcuts. Complacency is an apex predator. It's just a quick task. Famous last words. Most fatal falls happen at low heights during simple jobs.
So, what's the fix? It's not sexy, but it works. Engineering controls beat vibes. Guardrails, covers, fall arrest systems, interlocks, kill switches. Training that isn't a PDF. Hands-on, repeated in the language people speak. Fatigue management like you actually mean it. Caps on driving hours that don't get quietly ignored. Weather calls. If the wind is stupid, don't go up. If the sea is angry, don't go out. Real ladders, real anchors, real harnesses. And throw out the busted ones. Your hardware store, it's fine special, is not fine. End of day. Our year in work story wraps the way it started. Quietly. The numbers don't scream, they just accumulate. And yeah, the total dipped in 2023 compared to the year before. But that's not a victory lap. That's a reminder that behind every overnight delivery and every patched roof and every trimmed tree, someone took a risk. The question is, did the system have their back? If you're a parent steering a kid toward a trade, cool, skilled work is dignity. But pair the pep talk with a safety talk. If you're a boss, invest in protection like it's the only KPI that matters. Because it is. If you're in one of these jobs, you're not invincible, and you don't have to be. You just have to be annoying about safety until it becomes the culture.
Folks, here's the bottom line. The most dangerous jobs in America aren't chosen for adrenaline. They're chosen to keep the lights on and the shelves stocked. Respect that. Pay for it. Protect it. And for the love of everything, tie off the harness and slow the truck down. Your life is not a stopwatch. Y'all stay safe out there. And if this made you rethink ladders, roofs, trucks, and trees, good. It should.